Hi everyone, Rochelle with Losing It on Keto. In this video, I'm going to give you my week 9 progress and share some other news with you. So um, first, as I've been doing the last couple of weeks, the progress report, you can see on the left there the loss by week. So this latest week, week 9, January, that completed yesterday, that I took measurements or weighed myself today. So unfortunately, I only have 3/10 of a pound lost, and I'm having to give myself a pep talk. I'll be honest, with the low, with a low loss like that, because I was expecting much more. I had set a target to be in the next decade weight-wise the last 2 weeks and haven't achieved that. So anyways, in all transparency, I'm giving myself a little bit of a pep talk. But having said that, as part of that pep talk, I recognize that my clothes are fitting much better. In fact, I got into a pair of jeans on Saturday that, quite frankly, I wasn't expecting to be able to fit in for another month or so. So, just a pointer, a reminder for us all in this journey, that if you're in a weight loss journey, to also remember the non-scale victories, because we know the scale lies at times. And so I think that's one of those, this is one of those times. Additionally, I think I had such significant losses that we all know that your body sort of needs to remodel itself, to just take stock of what's happening to it. And so I chalk this last week up to that. I'll keep monitoring though, and if the trend, if this becomes a trend, then I'll adjust. But that's why I'm weighing every week. And I have to say, weighing every week is a little new to me, because I like to see big losses. So, like when I did Ideal Protein back in 2014, I weighed every month because I like to see a big number drop. But I've also learned along the way here that, it's sort of the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. And, I've been a chronic yo-yo dieter my whole adult life. I'm looking to change that. And one of the things that I've determined is to avoid the upswings in weight, is to weigh myself, because I've learned that the mirror lies too. I mean, I can't believe how big I got this round. I didn't recognize it. And I think that's a time where the scale can really help. And so I think more frequent weighing is an important part in the maintenance plan. And so by incorporating that into the weight loss phase, I'm building habits that I plan to keep long term. So so enough on that. So the 9-week average loss is 4.2 pounds, and I had mentioned in last week's video that I expect, as I go out further and further weeks, for that average to slowly creep down, and we're seeing that. So the average, just based on this 1 week's result, has brought my average down half a pound, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm still feeling great, etc. So yeah, giving myself a pep talk, but it is what it is. It's not going to derail me, and I'm not going to put too much emphasis on it, because like I said, my clothes are fitting better, my energy is incredible, and I know what I'm doing is on the right track, even if it takes me a little bit longer. So that's that update. The other thing I wanted to share, as I've done in weeks past, the top for week 9, you see the day-by-day macros, and then you see at the bottom what that translated to for the weekly average. And overall, pretty much the same, because as you guys know, I'm taking an Ideal Protein protocol, and I'm applying that to better ingredients, incorporating other things I've learned like intermittent fasting, etc. So So I say that I'm doing an ideal protein style type of protein sparing modified fast. So that is what I wanted to show you in regards to the macros. And then maybe it catches your eye over on the right there. The percent protein for the week prior was 59%, fat 29%, and carbs 12%. And then this past week, 54% protein, 31% fat, and 14% carbs. And then, as I've shown you in the past, these are what the meal plans look like to make up those macros. So last Monday consisted of a turkey sandwich and the chicken stock soup and the protein cake. You guys, if you've been following my videos, know that these are kind of staples for me on the protein sparing modified fast. And then my second meal Monday was Italian meatballs with a side of cabbage hash browns and then the protein sparing modified fast ice cream. And I did a video on the cabbage hash browns, so you saw that meal if you watched that video. On Tuesday, same as Monday, except I swapped out the protein cake for a collagen hot chocolate. And then on Tuesday, I did a protein sparing modified fast pizza. I did a video on that. And then I had a side of asparagus and then the ice cream. Then Wednesday, I had the keto chow chicken soup with cauliflower. I did a video on that as well. And I finished that meal with a protein cake. There's a recipe video on my channel. It's one of the earlier ones if you're new and you're wondering what these items are. And then for the second meal for Wednesday was a meatball sub. I did a video on that as well, using different cooking methods, different recipes. So, baking in the oven versus the stuffler, and then a keto chow dough versus the BBBE bread batter. So that was the meatball sub, and like I said, there's a recipe video on that. Then I had cabbage once again and the ice cream. And then Thursday, same staple, turkey sandwich with the chicken stock soup with cabbage and then the protein cake. And then Thursday, the meatball sub, cabbage, and the protein sparing modified fast. And then Friday, same. And then I just added the collagen hot chocolate. And then the second meal Friday was the meatball sub, zucchini, and ice cream. So you'd say, hey, you've had a number of meatball subs. That's because I make in bulk. So I cook in batch mode, and that's how I make my meals simple, is that I'll plan out what I'm going to have for the week, make it in bulk, and then have that for repeated meals throughout the week. I'm not somebody that gets bored with having the same things over. If I like it, then I tend to stick with it, and that's what you see reflected in my meal plan. Anyways, for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, this is another recipe video. I did a chicken hot pocket and a chicken pot pie. So Saturday, I consumed the chicken hot pocket, and it was fantastic. Then I had the protein cake and a collagen hot chocolate. It had snowed here, so I was out shoveling. So when I came in, I needed a hot chocolate. And then we went out as a family to celebrate my brother's birthday on Saturday. And I brought my turkey. So I thought, what could I bring to the restaurant that would be easy? And so I brought my turkey sandwich. But then I also made my protein sparing modified fast ice cream in the Ninja Creamy. And then I, put an ice sleeve around it, and I packed that, and then I brought that to the restaurant. So I had my turkey sandwich and my ice cream there as they had ordered off the menu. So I ate alongside them and wasn't deprived at all. So the ice cream out of the creamy, it was probably, I'd say 90 minutes or so I consumed it after I made it. And it stayed as cold as if I just ate it right after I took it out of the creamy. So that worked out super well. And then Sunday, once again, the staple, the turkey sandwich, protein cake, collagen hot chocolate. And then I had the meatball sub in a combination of asparagus I had left over, and then cauliflower, and then the ice cream. So that was the meal plan in detail for last week. And then just one last thing to close out the video. So I wanted to share the latest with me. So Dr. Barry is one of the influencers that I listen to, and he put out a video this year, or maybe, actually I think it was late last year, but his book just came out. So actually, I think the video did come out this year too. But he wrote a book called Common Sense Labs, and this was done in tandem with Kim Howerton, who's lost more than 100 pounds. So he put out the book with Common Sense Labs, and what it entails is what blood work should you get done at what you would consider your annual checkup. So he lists out all the individual tests, that one should get, and then gives advice on how to talk to your doctor and things like that. But I was particularly curious about the tests because, yes, I'm doing an extreme version of keto. I'm doing the protein-sparing modified fast, so it's something that I want to check. And I've told you before on this channel that Ideal Protein, the protocol that I'm following, applying to this, was what they considered medically supervised. So I'm trying to do that, apply that here, even though the truth is when I did Ideal Protein, it wasn't medically supervised. I had a coach, but there were no labs done or anything like that. So anyways, that's the reason why I got those. I'm going to do a video on the results of that. I'm digesting because there are a couple of findings and I'm trying to decide how to interpret some of them. So stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing that. But if nothing else, I have a baseline for as I progress. So I didn't do this at the outset. I should have taken labs at the outset, but I didn't. But at least I have them, week 9 as a baseline, and then I can reference those as I go. And then the same thing with the next one, the resting metabolic rate. So I did that after I completed an Ideal Protein style protocol a couple years ago. And I did the resting metabolic rate after that because I wanted to see, was my metabolism damaged by doing a protocol that was lower calorie? And now I didn't test when I started, but because I fell in an average range, I didn't feel like it damaged my metabolism. But this is one of the common questions that I get, and I shared that in an earlier video, the 3 top questions, comments I get, and this being one of them, that in such low calorie, I'm going to damage my metabolism. So I want to check that. So I have a test tomorrow to get that tested from the same company, from DexaFit. So I'm going to go and get that tested. And after I do that, I'll share those results with you. So that's going to be an upcoming video as well. And then the last update I have for this week is I was invited. So I want to make sure that I'm always transparent with you guys. And I have shared in previous videos that I had even though I'm incorporating some Keto Chow products, I let you know that I had no relationship with the company other than being a customer. So I guess based on my ordering pattern, they reached out and invited me to become a brand ambassador. And so I explained that, hey, I don't have a very big channel. I responded to a couple of questions, but they got back to me and they said, that's okay. We have what they call micro influencers. And so they accepted me as a brand ambassador. Now, so I wanted to share that with you. But I also want you to know that any recipes or comments I make will always be my own. They will always be objective. Because if I find ways that I can do this protocol and get the results that I want, well, my whole goal in this is sharing with you that maybe, a tidbit here or there that I share helps you. And by doing this, it helps me stay on track. So I will continue to be objective. If it helps me, I share it with you. If it doesn't, if I don't like it, what have you, I will always be honest with you in my videos. So nothing's going to change there, but in the spirit of full transparency, I wanted you to be aware that I was accepted as a brand ambassador. I know they have some what they call campaigns for one to get involved in. I'm not sure really what all is entailed there. I'm still learning that. But like I said, regardless, you can always trust that I will stay objective and I'll give you, my full honest opinion that if I'm finding something that's helping me do this protocol and achieve my goals, then I'll convey that to you. And if I find otherwise, I'll convey that as well. So that's the last I wanted to mention on that. So I think I'm going to close out this video and stay tuned for other videos. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some more recipe videos, but as well as the blood test, the metabolic rate, and things like that. So stay tuned for those, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.